In the past, they only shifted to the sky to play against FPX, and now I think XIA are going to be pretty happy going back to their normal composition. 5 seconds as we head into the pistol round. Northeption have normally got some interesting stuff that they pull out on these, but you can see Meteor with a very safe position, just watching A short, turret in mid. They're waiting for a push.
Expecting it, aren't they? You can see.
The push, in fact, has actually happened over on the other side of the map. Sushi Boy's already working his way into C Cubby.
This is going to get him so much information. It's even a star set down for him to work around, but Northeption going to be contacting now through into lobby, taking space to flash around the corner just in case somebody was close. And Foxy's push off the angle. Breaks the dog, going to be getting, again, denying that information. The stun, though, that's supplemented with his push. Does not anticipate there to be a second player. The Reali puts one on the board.
It's a 1-for-1 trade, and Northeption have the site. Is that going to be enough for them? Fairly fast flank by Sushi Boys.
Spike planted.
Smoke fades, an opportunity, honestly, maybe for XIA to try and go for that push back and try and find the damage. There is the opener. Meteor holding close. Patience being shown, the discipline just needs to wait and see, but he finally peaks. Gets the one. Help from the rest of his team as well, just trying to collide and join forces once more, but eventually we're down into this 1v1. If they've got any smokes available to them, but Scary just looking to try and see if he can stick it.
No way.
No shot, man, no way! The bullet's running out! You can't get away with that!
Scary is just nasty good in the clutch. He's so smart at making the right decisions at the right time. This guy is 20-6 in 1v1s this stage. That is absurdly good. Incredible stuff. And starting this out, you've already seen a little bit of Meteor having his impact, going for a really aggressive position on A. Sushi Boys was extremely fast on the flank, and the retake attempt was well timed too, as everyone went back to look at Sushi Boys waddling over the alarm bot. That was when Surf poked his head into window.
A couple of weapons being brought into this round though, for Northeption. Not a major investment, just enough to get Meteor comfortable with the Marshall, but ultimately they need a bit more. Noise being made, just posting Meteor up into this deep angle, make sure that he can, potentially get one. If a player tries to, lurk down C long, take a bit more information.
It was this kind of round that XIA got ruined by FPX. They won the pistol, immediately lost the follow-up, so if Meteor is able to pull magic out, perhaps he could do the same again. That is a tag.
Yeah, nice shot. Just wants to remove it, but okay, did not expect the other player there. They're just running him down. Sushi Boys don't want to let him try and escape, and they do eventually take him out. But an attempt at the B plant. Still Nanoswarm set up to try and deny it and push them back. Running into their own smokes. Cruz deals with it.
And Zen with it all to do. A pretty impossible task. XIA managing to keep that momentum going from the pistol round to lead them into the bonus and the gun rounds. They actually played very well against FPX on this map, despite losing in that final map on Haven. They were ahead in gun rounds. They won more gun rounds against FPX than they lost across the series overall.
That ended up costing them.
It was the Thrifties that cost them. They actually looked pretty coordinated, they had some good ideas, and I think with Fox moving back over to Sova, I think that's just going to be even more comfort territory.
Of course, yeah. The pressure is on for Northeption. We've been mentioning the bar being set, I think, by Zeta Division, a team that a lot of people expected to be here as the Japanese representatives.
And the bar was impossibly high. Nevertheless, that's what Northeption are aiming for. 4-player stack from XIA as they look to try and do damage on this bonus round. 4 Spectres and a Marshall.
Up for a pull maybe as well. Yeah, stun into the pull. Dash has to be committed just to try and avoid and escape a lot of it, but Black was moving forwards. He actually TP'd to escape the brunt of all that utility. Not expecting Foxy to just be there as well, but he swings ever so slightly later.
And that is remarkably clean. Sushi Boys has already been spotted. Meteor takes him out.
Very clean.
And Northeption simply do not lose these rounds. Even though they got flattened by DRX, they still won both of the anti-bonuses. And they're at an absurd win rate for them over the course of this stage too. They've only lost 3 of them the entire time. Yeah. I mean, teams simply do not start P&0 in the half against Northeption.
News for them if they were to try and achieve the impossible, you know.
You've got to halt the momentum of teams when they get onto a run like this. Got to get confidence back.
Prime game and flawless. Keep all those guns. Rolling into the next one. Turret's going to be set up now just to take contact in case anybody from Xerxia decides to be a bit cheeky. Peek from those double doors, but speaking of cheeky, that's Surf of an operator. Be getting a line of sight angle. This fight also breaking out into garage. Scary's up close and personal, round the corner. He's dealt with. Couldn't see a thing.
We saw Scary make an amazing play, hiding inside that exact same smoke. On an eco round against FBX, this time just trying to challenge it and getting caught out by the flash.
What a shot.
And honestly, what awareness to be pre-aiming that angle as well. The position from Surf is so unexpected. It's such a monstrously good place to hold.
I mean, just so fast to take the space off of it, isn't he?
He's just alone.
Yep, dashes forwards. None of his teammates really there for him, but using the Cloudburst to try and separate it. Foxy was at the back of the site, but he got taken care of.
No way.
He up to the top inside the smoke.
No way.
He's peeking that.
These are the plays that Northception catch teams off guard with. How can you expect Meteor to just be barreling his way in before the rest of his team, and then Black was TPing into his own smoke? They do... I don't think they know the definition of percentage play.
No.
But they go for such awesome
They hear the word
stuff.
play and they go for it.
Yeah.
It's
I think that makes them the kind of team that's really dependent on form.
Form, and they are some of the most dangerous to go up against as well.
Yeah. If they're having their on day, they can really flatten teams.
Already off to a much better start, I think, for Northception coming into this map as well. You remember, I mean, Deriali, we didn't really mention it as often, but they only finished that map split with 3 kills.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, you know, whenever you have new players turning up to a Masters event, you never know quite what to expect, whether or not they're going to perform or crumble.
Yeah.
And now I think this is an opportunity for
Already
Deriali
exceeded his kills.
Yeah, exactly. That's an opportunity for Deriali to show that that was just a blip. Very smart there, just based off the footstep noise. But that kill is just absurd.
Yeah, it wasn't even pre-aiming, it was just so fast, I just assumed that he had his crosshair placement there. Narrow precision, but now it looks like a stun and swing maybe into mid, trying to fight this one. Weapons aren't good for Xerxia, they're on that half by, of course, apart from Sushi Boys who saved that rifle into it.
And he's going to slip himself into a one and done over by C Cubby, which isn't an amazing place for the Vandal. Oh, he's actually choosing to go for the kill. There's no way he can stick around here now.
Do they expect this? So from the high ground on top of the box, the flash! He tries to hold it down. That's one not enough for it. Just a raw spam through the wall.
Deriali
being collected.
has really decided to make up for the fact he wasn't hitting his shots on split. That's the second time he's hit a pretty nutty one-tap while he's been stunned up. And I do really appreciate the diligence that Northception have whenever they're taking garage control. Zen is always there with a flash to ensure that anybody holding aggressively in garage is blinded up. And you heard Jess talk about it on the desk a little bit. The last time Northception played Haven, it was tragic. But that wasn't because Northception are bad, in my opinion. They went up against Zeta Division, who have an absurdly good Haven. And so I don't think you can really expect Northception to struggle in the same way.
Sure. Shots being found. Yeah.
Nice.
Spirits seem high as well. Good news for them, considering the map situation. They have money under their belts now. Meteor with the operator. That is just shots being sent straight into the smoke. Maybe expecting it. Sushi Boys again pushed up. But this time Blackwood is there to meet him.
Yeah, the use of the smoke at top C cuts him off from anybody.
No, wait, Fox, what are you doing? The alarm bots, I mean, just detecting his presence, chasing him down the street.
It's still there.
It's still there. Shocked hard to get rid of it. He's like, oh god, did it miss?
Okay.
Sure.
The alarm bot is finally
It's
deceased.
gone. It's gone.
And they're going to go back towards C. Now that they've pushed Foxy away from that angle and threatened like they could have crossed, it's back towards C where they found the first pick and removed the Killjoy utility.
And these players are just different, man. Rolling Thunder now. That's scary. Stunned up, just has to back away into garage. Prayed and no players swarming from that position, but enough utility just dumped into it to try and clear this one. Yeah. Lockdown in play, dog into the back. That's actually stunning a bunch of the players, but now the Hunter's Fury comes through. What is occurring here? Lit them up like Christmas trees, but Deriali still finds 2. Jumping, running around, Meteor with the Blade Storm, but the spike is not down. Picks it up, vacating the premises. Op the Op, Fox is watching this. No, he's got the knife out! Wanders right into him.
And of course Meteor is going to force the kill from Foxy's POV. He's thinking, okay, the guy's going to take the spike, maybe rotate, maybe plant. I've got some time here. But he was still spamming his shock darts, and Meteor is always kill hungry. I cannot believe that Northeption were able to survive that 3-player recon dart scan into Hunter's Fury, with players swinging out backside as well.
It's just ridiculous. Like, look at this as well. And like, I mean, Fox is just saying, like,
The key point of contact here, with his knives available on the eco round.
Should be 4. Popped him off, but stuns exchanged. There's the fault lines to try and get onto the angles. Meteor needs a bit of damage. Still locking it down just in case one of the players decides to peek their heads right around the corner.
And I like this approach from Northeption. They've taken early A lobby, A short, A long kind of control, and they have a very passive setup from Deriali. Quite difficult to break. Turret far back watching grass. Alarm bot for anybody pushing extremely deep into window. That's a safe setup against the eco round.
Yeah, expecting to push, aren't they?
They certainly are.
The risk that might be taken.
But I think all you need in this round from Northeption is a fake that you're going towards garage or B, and you can re-hit A very easily. It looks like the spike, though, heading C here, and you might see the opposite, a bit of an A fake and then a hit onto the C site. We'll see what they intend to go for here as they manipulate the defender stack. There are 4 players A, and here comes that fake with the dog, with the smokes, the spike itself going C.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, and now the ult as well, which means the Blackwoods can rejoin the rest of them. They don't know where really that is, but Sushi Boys is now aware. Taking a couple of stray bullets at the back of the site means he can't quite contest the plan. Maybe he was hoping to. Deriali pushing forwards into this one. Finds the shots, doesn't he? And Surfdo coming back in with the Blade Storm. Anything to try and help him out. No, Jojo shuts it down. Not quite watching that one angle, but a rifle in the hands of Crew now with the Rolling Thunder. Still the spam, okay.
He was never making his way through that smoke.
Yeah.
And Northeption played this round beautifully, I think. The very fast map control at the start. The pump of the brakes to see if there was any response from Xerxia, any push. And then a bit of a fake into the C hit. Beautiful macro decision-making, great calling as well. Northeption are going to need to keep stacking up these rounds.
Scary just opting, obviously, to die to the spike here. Half unexpected, doesn't want to save it into it, but ended up falling anyway. So they are firmly in the driving seat now, Josh.
Yeah, there are tools that Northeption can go towards for this round coming up too. Jojo with that plant, and with the couple of kills he was able to secure, getting pretty close to another Rolling Thunder, only 1 away. So could definitely play for the C orb, make it look like they're just trying to punish Sushi Boys, going for the push into C cubby, grab the orb, go back in a different direction. Looks like that's what they're going for. You've got Meteor and Jojo over here towards C. The op holding the angle. Breach perhaps gonna risk picking up this orb.
They've just completely given up C. Now you see Scary's just going to be reclearing a bit of that space up. Jiggle peeking on top of it. Surf's also picked up this operator in his hands. He wants to watch the double doors angle.
The problem is, this is so susceptible to one of those pop flashes from Zen.
Yeah. And there's not really a teammate to try and back him up and play anti-flash, although now it's being rejoined. Dash enabled, and they have removed the turret. Player close. Black was just holding the corner, and Fox just tried to, not too sure, re-peek, re-clear.
He's trying to catch people that are getting a timing on Surf.
Well, it's just a bit of chaos once more. Black Wiz is TP'd up over the top of them. Scary deals with him, but the rest of his team are on the side already. A for the taking. Now Swarm just pushes them back. Only a moment, though. A bit of time being bought.
Sushi Boys is going to use the lockdown. Weird position because he's trying to avoid the aftershock from Jojo, which is still there. Doesn't work.
Anyway.
Doesn't work. That looked like a very calculated position to try and avoid it, and yet utterly ineffective.
Yeah, still Meteor as well, holding down this line. Tight angle. Cosmic Divide's going to be causing some issues as well as they try and push back into this one, but just up to Scary. And yeah, not a lot of life to do it.
Scary even getting hurt there too. And these rounds are beautiful from Northemption. Their attack, even though they didn't pick this map at all, this is Xerxia's map pick, the attack intelligence, the design, the macro planning is so much better from Northemption on Haven compared to their split. They've got a game plan, they're executing it well.
Not even expecting that. I mean, he's getting flashed by his own team, but it's still okay, secures the kills.
Nice.
And it's head-to-head between the Jets. Surf versus Meteor.
It could not be more one-sided.
Look at that stat line.
Meteor's getting supported very well by this double flash comp. It's something that Xerxia struggled to execute a little bit, and they've gone back over to the Sova.
Got to take some risks, haven't you? But the spam
Is scary.
was going down already.
This is the opposite of the play that he made previously with Sushi Boys.
Here.
Really holding close. Meteor's man his way in. Rally does fall. Backing away. Great opening here for Xerxia if they are trying to make something of this half by round. In fact, they have ultimates if they wanted to commit it as well with that rolling thunder. The drone's going to now spot out Meteor. Has to respect that. Has to back away.
And this time Xerxia look like they have a bit of the read. It's going to be quite difficult with only a minute left. But NTH to go back towards A, except that Jojo's just found the one player holding it. It opens up the map. It splits the defenders. They now have to cover the entirety of this map with only 3 players. And it's free pickings for NTH.
Yeah, they can really just, at this point now, send it to whatever section of the map they want, as long as they're taking it with bodies. There's no real risk, although Fox is there with a rifle. Gets the one, there's no greed in play, backs away.
That's an amazing play by Foxy. Not only has he found the pick to level this back out 3-3, he's told the rest of Xerxia to rotate.
Rolling Thunder was dragged out of them now. Still Spike started to get planted. NTH, they need to hold this one. Trailblazer, the pull, the Nana Swarm, all that utility is just being used, but nobody in the trap. In fact, the reposition. Blackwood's now just sitting at Graffiti. Is there going to be a crossfire set up? Jojo back up into Hevel. That's this fault line now just ready, waiting for some sort of sound cue. The bait as the smoke now comes up. A really difficult retake for Xerxia. And take it with the body, still swinging into it, but again, the crossfire to reposition. NTH, they had that one under control.
Very clean round, despite the fact that Xerxia found a couple of openings.
Yeah.
Those 2 kills were actually very important, could have potentially swung things in the opposite direction. And yet NTH are playing with a lot of discipline here. Very good IGLing. I think their approach has been clean. This is the best that we've seen them play so far. And they're finding their footing, finding their lead, pushing things up to 7-2.
What a scoreline. The amount of rounds that are winning in a row here. The confidence is so high for NTH. I mean, Josh, since I got a headset on, I can hear these guys screaming.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. Meteor's dashing straight into it once more. The stun sets him up, but Sushi Boy's right behind him. That's a trade in play. Still the flash. Spam, how do you get away with that? Foxy, though, still wants to take a position. Moves to the bag. Dariali, that's a bit of run and gun. Listen, I won't fault you for it.
Foxy, just the only player trying to anchor there. Now Cruz is going in before Surf is ready to support as well.
Disjointed.
He's looking for information, trying to tell, have NTH left? He spots 2 players down C long, and so he's thinking, yeah, they're probably leaving, but at this point, with Cruz on the floor, they could very easily re-hit C.
Yeah, a minute left. Indecisiveness, obviously.
And at this point, it's just the best play for Surf to try and save.
Absolutely. That's kind of what he's just trying to make the play, isn't he?
Oh, and then insanely diligent, picking up an ult orb to get the Seekers online to check whether Surf is on the site. They've seen Surf kill 3 of them before with an op, I guess. It's worth the ult.
The amount of respect that they're showing is worthwhile. When you've seen the results that Surf's able to put up for this team, don't give him any way to get back into this.
Yeah, there was no chance, but NTH put another one up on the board. It feels like Xerxia's defensive flooding into the site is a little mismanaged. Their timing
really out of sync.
They're very out of sync. Their timing on when they want to fight and when they want to back off for the retake just seems a bit out of it. And that's allowing NTH to trade very effectively out behind Meteor. Even though they're often a long way behind, the spacing isn't perfect. But it's kind of Meteor at the front and then another pack of 4.
Yeah, they eventually catch up. They follow up. And the thing is, Meteor's so good as well that even though he is, you know, pretty separate from the rest of his team with a lot of these big wholesale executes, it doesn't matter. He's usually good for 1.
Yes.
He's usually good for 1. He's usually getting value.
I mean, good for 1. Look at it. He's 12 and 4. He's good for 3.
This guy has just been an absolute demon.
And he is being well supported by the rest of the utility as well. On other maps, it can often feel like he's out on his own on an island.
Yeah.
Nice.
On this round, on this map, he's definitely being supported by these double flashes. And Xerxia are going for some kind of force here. 2 Spectres, light armor on 4 players. Just forcing up around the off.
So, wants to hold on to it, but he's smoked off, stunned off. Trapped in the corner here. A bit of random spam. He could find his mark, but Surf is still just disrespecting it. Wants to hold up close and personal. The same could be said for Northeption.
But it's also difficult to get a read on when Northeption are playing fast rounds and when they're slowing things down. They take map control very quickly, but then the brakes are pumped. And so Surf doesn't quite know whether there's still people here.
Yeah, Cruz ended up flashing there. The jungle into the elbow. That is going to be the kill. Updraft you have made yourself. Just quite the floating target. Cruz though wants to try and return a bit of fire. The Rolling Thunder, it's a good connection onto the 2, stunned up. Meteor still got that Blaze Storm in play, trying to pincer him. You can see the Northeption players just trying to make the most of it as they rotate and wrap around short, but it's dealt with easily enough.
Deploying drone.
It's a great punish from Cruz. He's still taking this fight against Meteor over by A Long. Just dumping utility in, trying to keep these players back.
30 seconds left.
Recon sidestepping, in and out with the timing of it. Meteor just looking to, honestly, I think, maybe create an opening. He is lurking all the way up. He's got his teammate in short, but the spike is in such an unfortunate position for him to try and make anything happen. Xerxia, now they know where he is. Last player standing, tried to whip it out with the shorty, but that's going to be a round finally gained for Xerxia. First one in quite some time.
It has been a long time coming. They got the pistol, the follow-up, and then Northeption have simply been on a run. It started somewhat similar to this against DRX. They got round 3 and there was 4 rounds in a row and then it fell to pieces. Yeah. But this is what Northeption can do. Snowball the momentum, get things going. The confidence starts to flow. And even if Xerxia pick up the next round as well to make this an 8-4 half, it's still a fantastic map 2. At least the beginning of it for Northeption, for the Japanese squad.
We mentioned these expectations, but right now they are living up to it. Almost a similar tale to what happened with Zeta Division, but here we go. Aggression is the name of the game. Meteor already deep playing with Indy. Smokes Stereali though is going to be the first to go down. The first kill for Sushi Boys. Answers it for them. Do they expect him to be in this position? Meteor's going to clear this corner. He knows it, but the alarm bot's in play. And there we go. 3 kills in a round. Great setup for them.
They've seen Northeption pushing garage window too many times. The adaptation finally comes through. Headshot. And Jojo picks off one of these players, picks off a second as well. And suddenly this round, extremely winnable. Back into a 2v2.
He's making this one completely bizarre, but dealt with in middle with the spike drop down. Always Q back. Blackwiz knows it's here. Obviously knows that Foxy's playing up close. Still, getting tagged like that is unfortunate. Choosing to just ego to Recon. Take the fight individually, but 4 rounds will be what Xerxia get. Still.
He's the one that's inside holding everyone together on it. I don't know how many rounds this man is throwing multi-kills in our face.
Yeah.
And I thought Meteor was the very impressive one. Well, now that Meteor's getting in and they're not so far behind him, that has cleaned up the act that is North. And I know you want them to go out with a bang here. I know this isn't the bang you asked for, Doug, but so far it's not too bad.
Can they coordinate, even though they're not running the double flash comp, and start delivering him the entry kills, the favored advantage situations that they need to crack into these sites?
Slow beginning to this pistol round.
Both of these teams love to push on defense, so you're going to see a lot of slow attack halves, I think, and then big site executes.
It's the name of the game. They have got control of that A-long.
By the way, Meteor's got a shorty.
Yeah.
Just something to keep your eye on.
Just trying to play around the smokes as well, maybe anticipating that could be a play be made. The half armor shorty buy, I mean, I respect it.
Look at the smoke as well from Blackwiz. It's not deep into A short. It was pluming out into the
out
site.
in the open.
Yeah, so that Meteor could get inside of it preferentially.
Yeah.
And he's going to be here when this site hit comes through. It's so strange. He's pushing
Oh
short.
my goodness, you've got to be joking, but it's been spotted. Removed from the fight, taken out a short. All up to Zen to see if he can collect a couple of more kills there, only the one though. Out of sight controlled. Xerxia going to be able to get this spike down. You can see already heaven control being taken by Northeption.
Here comes that flank again. A repeat of what happened in our first pistol round as the Killjoys do battle.
Up close and personal at this slide off angle. A bit of baiting for it. I think the Sushi Boys dealt with Northeption. They're finding so many more off the back of it. Fox, though, a quick 180 to wrap around her. Okay. Gets the kill. Fox is dealt with. And
it's just a repeat of the pistol. It's the same kind of strategy. Fast flank from the Killjoy. As soon as the Killjoy distracts those players playing in short or long, the players at CT and Heaven swoop in.
yeah.
And you can only catch half of it on cam because the fights are happening in such different areas of the map. But Jojo hits some gorgeous dose shots.
Unbelievable.
Nice!
Very early having an absolute game. Leading the scoreboards for his teams. Look at this.
It is a massive resurgence after he only got 3 kills on Split.
Yeah.
The whole map.
And it seems to be the added element, the extra push that they needed because they're in control of this one. By winning that pistol round, forces Xerxia now into the buy. Have to invest all their money into it, of course. And they're going fast, right into the cloudburst, but he just misses it. The timing slightly off. Stinger in plays and just about eventually will fall, but look at the spray. Cacophony of bullets just being rained across the site. Eventually breaking forward, but there is once more just relentless efforts. Meteor just dashes into it. His own smoke with the judge, Josh. This is a style of gameplay that I don't know how to cast. Their timings are off. The players are all over the place. Meteor's just taking fights.
He has a shorty round 1, a judge round 2, and he survives with 2 HP.
Dude,
he is just running into bullets.
It's absurd. It's
Flying
absurd.
Getting turned into Swiss cheese.
I just can't predict what's going to happen next. It's every single twist and turn of these rounds.
Just amazing to watch. He's taking the judge over towards Garage as well. Xerxia on their last legs here, picking up sheriffs. Oh, Meteor's just demonic. He can hear them all.
You don't
running up
push
there.
that with a judge. You just don't. And a swarm and popped off in response to it. And then the Guardian straight through the wall. Heads being found, of course. Shots to the cranium. The weapons are not good. Meteor's just styling on him, man.
I love it! This is Northeption back to where they were in that domestic final against Zeta. Throwing caution to the wind and believing in themselves. This is the kind of map you need to have at an international event to realize that you can still do this stuff to the best teams in the world.
Still hold a candle to them.
They're not on a different level.
Exactly.
To go into Garage without a good game plan. The question is, where do you go on this map?
There's a quad push into lobby, I think. Yeah. Players set up for it. Northeption obviously taking a lot of space, a lot of utility exchange. Bit of running now though from Xerxia as they look like they're ready to set up, but Meteor already getting into position and this could be more than deadly. His team though backing him up. Sushi Boys deals with it.
Good awareness from Xerxia. And I think that C-long play is definitely the best kind of option when you're concerned about close-range battles.
Okay.
Here's Dariali again winning so many more duels than he was on Split.
They're re-clearing this one now. I like this from Xerxia, but the paranoia is beautiful. So many players just left wondering what exactly is going on. And Zenhans is back. The Guardian in play. Cleans up the kills. It's all up to Surf. Locked away at the back of the side, at the back of Platt. He knows where one of them is, but where could Jojo be? Time running low to talk to Trailblazer just to see if they can get some information, but surely you can't afford these seconds. He does get spotted, he finds the one, dodges it, tries to drift to the side, but still ticking, ticking, ticking.
I don't think he's got it.
I think he may have.
It's a margin of milliseconds.
It's so close, it's so close. Oh my goodness. I'm just running out.
And Surf somehow has managed to win that 1v2 towards the end. By a fraction,
I started to get worried. When I saw the Trailblazer, when I saw the dog just going for a little jog, just up and down the park, just letting him off the leash. The time was running low, the spike was ticking. I was like, are they gonna have enough time? Barely.
And if Jojo takes a more direct route, perhaps he gets that one. And Xerxia are gonna be wiping sweat off their brow. It is such a long way back. And such a messy buy as well. Northeption are keeping their economy suppressed.
And the play seems to be just go out again. Full execute style. Dash straight up into your own Cloudburster. Oh, you gotta deal with that though, Surf. Please, you can't drop the ball. Michaels was fully blind, flashed up. Now you see the Hunter's Fury trying to supplement it. Foxy desperate to help the rest of his team, but already the rotations are there. A flick of the wrist, the BT of this guy cannot be stopped.
What a beast he is! It's so fun. The flick, the spray control, masterful. Simply masterful. And at the beginning of that round, it was Northception trying to apply the pressure with a flash and dash play out of Garage. Look at Surf here, full blinded, I think by his own team.
Yeah, it seems like it.
As he went for the dash updraft play over the top of the default box. And it's a nice timing from Scary. I wish they double-faced it with Scary and Sushi Boys.
I love it.
And all of the confidence is now here. The round has already started.
Bro, they're already in their spawn. Pushing. The Alarmo's going to be catching onto them. It's an instant response from Xerxia. They want to take space on A. They're like, okay, you're going to be pushing us from C. Hopefully we can get the side for free. Nice one to cut it across. Even a ult being used. Black was actually TPing into the enemy spawn. Spike is starting to go down now, but this fight is taking place. Multiple approaches, just spam up into heaven to see if they can catch a stray bullet.
There's good ultimates here for Xerxia, but terrible weaponry.
They're not wasting any time, are they? Lockdown's going to be used. Michi ended up using that double updraft, but he's going to get destroyed, and Fox, he deals with it. The flank coming down. Northception, oh, look at this, already through, but now the Rolling Thunder pushes it back. The aggression, the flash, there was a play being made. Even the aftershock up top, but even an ult of their own. Northception need to end this one here, and now the Cosmic Divide, dodging, juking, sidestepping in between. It's all up to Fox. Left alone, can he do it? The reset, 1-2, has to reload. Time is on his side. What a performance. Pulls out the ace and he keeps them in the map.
You could not have found a more important time for Xerxia, for Fox, to find that round. The weaponry was appalling, but he goes back, he deals with the flank. He uses the rest of his team as a little bit of bait as the breach ult comes through. And wins a 1v3 at the end, cleaning up those players who I've got to assume were already celebrating.
It seems that way, doesn't it? And what an investment from either side, honestly, into this one. But you could feel Northception, they wanted to try and deal with this.
Get out of my way.
Here and now in that round, that's a pull to try and punish this one. Do they know that Michi's played up into this angle to stun? He just plays into it, Scary. Not a clue, really. No teammates to help him back him up on top of the bricks, making noise. Cruz just a quick 180 and deals with him, I guess.
The turret down, but Jojo's still watching. If they go for a contact push in, Jojo just gives up the angle. And now these Xerxia players are so deep.
Bot coming back.
And Deriali must have communicated this to the rest of his team.
No
Guys,
way.
my turret is down. They could be through.
No way. Just none the wiser. Jojo tries to take care of it, but just too late.
Last player standing.
And Serve cleans up Deriali, who has let the enemy through the gates there. It's not necessarily the bad individual decision to go for the push as the killjoy, but it is pretty rough that Northception didn't plug the hole. They had Jojo watching it for a while, but there was some level of distraction over towards the A side that just pulled all the players away.
Distraction, or it wasn't commed that his util was down, the turret was down.
Yeah.
A bit of a breather. Calm it down, we'll come up with something with plenty of rounds to work with. A stun and a deep smoke, just try and push away these Xerxia players who are really just disrespecting all of that utility that was sent flying. It's a long control going to be gained.
And there is a gamble stack over towards C. It's the most expected area for a rifle round, you know, an anti-eco round to be going. But for Xerxia, they haven't seen a single player peeking, not a single piece of utility after the fault line. And so they might be starting to smell a rat here.
Yeah, honestly, just waiting for any sort of peek, I think, obviously, from Northception. If they want to try and get some information, maybe just contacting in a jiggle. But so far, nothing being gained.
And as this drone comes up short, they should get more and more confident.
Yeah, here we go.
That there's nobody home.
Yep. Stars drop down, converted into the smokes. It's going to be a stun for a stun, but already there's going to be a free sight. All that utility, look at that. Even a nano swarm coming down just in case there was a player inside of the smoke.
And these are the moments where you're thinking not so much about economic damage, really, but about ultimates that are going to get online for the future.
Yeah.
Zen one away. Nobody that you're particularly worried about feeding, so
Exactly. Cleared! Scary. Just with the rifle and a slight flick, Meteor's dealt with. One more player up there. There's some confidence-boosting kills. Prime Gaming flawless.
definitely is. So here comes another opportunity for Northeption to put the map away. You can't wait for Surf to warm up. That would be extremely dangerous. Like I said, Zen got his ult online here, just with the death. He was only one orb point away. So as he dies there as the final player left around, the Seekers come online. Could be a crucial tool that they have access to.
Anything to close out the round. And it looks like
Here.
a play into mid. Yeah, the mid push.
We haven't seen many of these this map, but this is a Meteor special.
Impacting. Making sure it's being covered as well. The spam into the wall. Bullets raining down. Fox brought down to 73 health.
But when you're not breaking that turret every round, as soon as you do break it, it makes it feel like a mid push. Look how quickly Meteor rotates over to A. He knows they're going to be worried about mid, so now let's pressure a different area of the default.
But the dash is active. Flash is just sent through. Now the Seeker's on top of it, and Xerxia just weathering the storm, aren't they? Waiting out utility, making sure they deal with it, but not Meteor. There's no waiting around for this guy. Ansi, the playmaker.
He follows every piece of utility. The Flash, the Seekers, the dog.
And this could just be it. The final nail in the coffin for this map with 2 players going down. Surf and Sushi Boys removed. Has to be it. Right here, right now. A deeper smoke for Xerxia to try and find their way in. There are no one like that.
Defenders
One fell swoop. They clean them up. And they're going to be taking Haven here.
An enormous map win for Northeption. That is going to give them confidence. That's going to give them